Hey everyone, Andy Robertson here with CQE Academy, and in today's video I want to share with you my tips and tricks for how to create a study plan for the CQE exam. One of the best ways out there to accomplish a really big goal is to break that big goal down into small, daily, measurable goals that you can achieve and track your progress against over time. And that's exactly what a study plan is. It takes this big, broad goal of passing the CQE exam and it breaks it down into daily, manageable tasks that you can do every single day to help you stay on track and become a CQE. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make when they become a CQE is they buy the training material, they get really excited, but they don't create a plan. And when people don't create a plan, life gets busy, other things come up, people lose focus, and eventually they fall off track and they never achieve their goal to become a CQE. So one of the best things you can do to maximize your chances of success and become a CQE is to create a study plan. So I want to share my tips and advice with you to help you do that. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you my personal study plan that you can use to create your own plan and modify it based on your strengths and weaknesses so that on exam day you're as prepared as possible. All right, so tip number one is to get the study order right. So if you look at the CQE body of knowledge, there's 7 pillars: management and leadership, the quality system, product and process design, product and process control, continuous improvement, statistics, and risk management. And the mistake I made when I was new to this journey is that I just bought a resource and I opened it up to page 1, which was management and leadership, and I read sequentially through the book, and it just goes right down the body of knowledge. But as I became familiar with the CQE exam and as I became familiar with learning techniques to maximize your learning and your memory and your retention, is that we should change up the study order to maximize our chances of success on the exam. So for example, the first topic you should study, and I've said this in other videos, is statistics. So let me tell you why. There's 4 reasons. Okay, so the first reason is that statistics has the most questions on the exam and it has the hardest questions on the exam. And so if we put statistics first, we can use that learning technique that I've talked about called spaced repetition, where, you know, let's say you're talking about continuous improvement or you're learning product and process design, you can go back and re-quiz yourself and use some active recall, some active retrieval, and spaced repetition on that statistics stuff so that on exam day you're as prepared as possible and that you've gone through a number of different practice exams for statistics. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that statistics is foundational for the CQE exam. So if you're studying acceptance sampling in product and process control, it's going to be hard to understand how an OC curve is created if you don't already understand like the Poisson distribution or the binomial distribution. The same thing is true in reliability. That's an important topic in product and process design, but it's going to be tough to do those reliability calculations without a good understanding of the exponential distribution or the normal distribution or the Weibull distribution. So statistics is quite foundational for a lot of other topics on the exam. And then the third is that it has the biggest impact on your career. Remember, becoming a CQE is all about growing your career. And your career grows when you take what you're learning and you put it into practice at work. A lot of quality engineers aren't using statistics at work like they should be. And so if you're able to put statistics first and then learn it and then put it into practice in your day job, you're going to start to see your career grow long before you even become a CQE, and that's going to motivate you to get through the entire process. And it's going to have the biggest impact on your career, and I want to have that impact early on in the process, again, to kind of fuel you through the entire journey. And then the 4th reason, and I kind of hate talking about this, is that sometimes some people get to statistics and they realize it's not for them. They've put in the time and the effort and they've really tried, but they're struggling and it's just not for them and they don't get it, and they end up not becoming a CQE. And I'd rather you find that out sooner rather than waste your time and find out later in the process that the statistics just isn't for you. All right, so we've talked about putting statistics first. Now let's look at the rest of the study order. So if we start at the top, we've got statistics, which they call quantitative methods and tools, and then it's continuous improvement, product and process design, product and process control, management and leadership, the quality system, and then risk management. And basically what you'll notice here is we've gone in order based on the number of exam questions on the exam. And again, that's to allow us to take advantage of spaced repetition and active learning. So you've finished statistics, you've finished continuous improvement, and you've moved on, but then we can always come back, do some active retrieval, some active recall, take a practice quiz, get some spaced repetition so that on exam days we're as prepared as possible. And then what you'll notice is the only time I really deviate from the questions is between product and process design and product and process control. And the reason I do that is because you have to learn about design before you learn about control. You have to understand CQAs and the design input process, design V&V, and process validation, because all of that impacts the way we control and monitor our process later on. So that's really the only time we're different than the number of exam questions. All right, step number 2 is to commit to and decide how much time you can dedicate every single day to the study process. So before you can create a detailed daily study plan, you have to commit to a certain amount of time. So I personally recommend 30 minutes a day. That's a really good amount of time to read your resource, watch a video, and then take a practice exam. And most people can find 30 minutes in their life. And what I recommend is you block your calendar. You say, you know what, I'm going to spend 30 minutes every single day at this exact same place, reading, studying, and learning and growing. And then over time, you're going to become a CQE. And what I found is that if you can spend 30 minutes a day studying, it'll take you about 6 months to become a CQE. And that's how I base the rest of the study plan. So it's based on the assumption that you can spend 30 minutes a day. If you can find an hour a day, or I've seen people do 2 hours a day, obviously you can compress the time to 3 months or 2 months or whatever. But again, most people can find about 30 minutes a day. Now, once we're committed to 30 minutes a day, we can start breaking down every single day and creating daily objectives or daily study goals for every single day. And this is where I've done a lot of the heavy lifting for you. I've broken down the entire CQE body of knowledge into daily chunks of studying. And you can find that study plan at cqeacademy.com/free plan. It's completely free to sign up. Just head over there and check out that resource. And again, what I've done is I've taken this order, this entire body of knowledge, and all 42 topics on the CQE exam, and I've broken it down into daily goals that you can use to help keep yourself on track. Now, what I recommend is that you can take my plan, but you should physically create your own plan. Put pen to paper, write it down, and that act of writing it down is like a personal commitment to yourself to stay on track. And think about your own strengths and weaknesses. Take a practice exam, find out which topics you're really good at, find out which topics you need more work, and then you can modify and personalize this plan based on your strengths and weaknesses, again, so that on exam day you are as prepared as possible. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Shoot me an email at andy@cqeacademy.com if you have any questions. Hit that like button if you really enjoyed this so that other people just like you can find it. And if you're serious about becoming a CQE, hit that subscribe button. I publish new videos every Wednesday, and it'll help keep you on the journey if you get new videos every single day and you're watching them and you're learning and you're growing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.